And when we concluded that meeting, General Ogolla told me the following: Mr. President, I have no defense.
Has President Ruto been lying about Francis Ogola's involvement in attempting to overturn his victory in the 2022 general elections? While the president insists that Ogolla was indeed guilty of attempting to undermine his win, there appears to be a discrepancy in the narrative between the opposition team, the CS of Defense Aden Duale, and President Ruto himself. Raila Odinga, James Orengo, and Aden Duale have suggested that Francis Ogolla was innocent regarding the Bomas of Kenya incident, leaving doubts about his alleged intentions to overturn Ruto's presidency.
Is that there is this allegation that General Ogolla went to Bomas to try and change the elections. If you accuse Orengo of me, you can accuse me. I can plead guilty. I know, even when I went there, I was just overpowered. I was just overpowered. But if you accuse Orengo, I think that it would be a reasonable...
Your Excellency, because I knew this man very well. General Ogolla would never have contemplated or thought about going to Bomas of Kenya to force Mr. Chebukati to alter the results of last general elections. So if we want this to be removed, as we lay him to rest.
Now the key question is, was Francis Ogolla truly culpable, and was there accuracy in Ruto's accounts of the Bomas of Kenya incident? Now, during a recent memorial service at the Ulinzi complex on Saturday, April 20th, President Ruto revisited the topic of Francis Ogola's purported efforts to thwart his victory. Ruto reiterated that Ogolla had traveled to the Bomas of Kenya to obstruct his presidential announcement. However, when events unfolded differently than Ogolla had planned, Ruto claimed that the late CDF apologized to him. Ogolla allegedly admitted his lack of defense for the incident and presented Ruto with three options: face a court-martial, retire from the military, or receive forgiveness from Ruto. Now, Ruto asserts that he pardoned Ogolla, hence appointing him as chief of the defense forces.
I asked General Ogolla for a meeting, and I had a one-on-one, man-to-man, come to Jesus meeting with General Ogolla. And when we concluded that meeting, General Ogolla told me the following: Mr. President, I have no defense. I will not try to defend myself. It was wrong what happened. And you have three choices. Either send me to court-martial, or have me retired, or forgive me.
Now the big question remains, what was Francis Ogolla's purpose at the Bomas of Kenya during the election season? Reportedly, Ogolla found himself at the Bomas of Kenya due to deception by his former superior, General Kibochi. Believing that there was a security emergency, Ogolla arrived only to discover political theatrics at the Bomas of Kenya. He promptly messaged Kibochi, stating, "No security crisis, just politics," a message he later presented to Ruto during a tense meeting. Now, according to blogger Maverick Aoko, this is what she said in regards to the Bomas of Kenya incident. Apparently, General Ogolla was sent to Bomas of Kenya by his then boss Kibochi. He was told there was a security crisis in the country, only to find political hoopla there. He texted Kibochi, "No security crisis, just politics," and he showed that text to Ruto during an intense meeting. Aden Duale, the current CS of Defense, reiterated the same claim during the burial of the late Ogolla, suggesting that some individuals had sent Ogolla to stay at the Bomas without clear reasons. Now, despite Duale's assertion that Ogola's presence at the Bomas was inexplicable, he encountered a resistance when seeking clarification from his superiors.
General Ogolla, and a direction was given to him with the other colleagues, with a leader, him as a member, to go to Bomas. General Ogolla, as a respectable soldier and general, he asked and sent a text message to his bosses and asked, what am I going to do in Bomas? And this has happened. And General Ogolla was told, it's been decided, you go. And I'm narrating what General Ogolla today, he's lying here, this man told me. When he went to Bomas, the then chairman of IBC, he told me, kept them for 5 hours. And the 411 came while he was in Bomas, saying the results will be announced at 3. And General Ogolla then again sent a text message and saying, now that the result will be announced at 3, as a general, as a soldier, what am I doing here? And he was told, stay with your colleague. That text message is there. When His Excellency yesterday said, I had a one-to-one with the General Ogolla, he gave me permission to have one-on-one discussion with the General Ogolla on a Monday from 7 to 9:30 p.m. in my house. His security, his drivers can confirm. And when he convinced me, because he was a man of God, when he convinced me is when he got an opportunity to relay and talk to the president with those 3 statements at the end of his discussion with the president.
Now, Ruto contends that Ogola's presence at the Bomas was to meddle with election results. Furthermore, Ruto claims that Ogolla wasn't included in the list of potential CDF appointees, implying that his appointment was a gesture of empathy on Ruto's part.
All the recommendations that I got on the next CDF and all the advice that I got about the next CDF did not include the name of General Ogolla, unfortunately. But he was a military officer with a distinguished career.
But the question that remains, and what people are asking, is would you easily trust someone who had motives of fighting your victory with the instrument of power? Someone like Francis Ogolla to oversee all military activities in the country while he had plans to prevent the current president, that is Ruto, from ascending to power. Now, this is the same as trusting a fundi as a caretaker of your apartment, and yet the same fundi had stolen your construction materials during the construction of the apartment. Between these people, that is the president and the other people who are talking about this Bomas of Kenya incident, who will you believe? Ni nani unaamini kwa statement yake hapa? Leave your thoughts on our comment section. That is it for now. Thanks for watching. Let's see you next time. Bye-bye.